I'm just going to take the spoon, kind of push it through. It's going to stick out the other end. And I'm just going to pull it 2 clicks. And I know it's in there. I already have it charged back.
Today we're going to talk about the U.S. Army's latest generation squad fire support weapon, the XM250 light machine gun. This gun is the world's first standard issue machine gun to adopt the brand new 6.851 ME ammunition. It has a longer effective range, higher accuracy, and greater firepower than 5.56 ME caliber weapons, and its ballistic performance even surpasses that of the 7.62 ME medium caliber general purpose machine gun. The U.S. Army plans to use it to simultaneously replace the existing small caliber M249 light machine gun and the medium caliber M240 general purpose machine gun, and hopes it can become the iconic light weapon that leads the world's military trends once again for the United States Army. So, just how capable is this XM250 light machine gun? Can it bring the world's light weapons back into the medium caliber era once again? Today we're going to find out. Friends who love military content, welcome. Please like and subscribe so you can find us next time without getting lost. With the widespread adoption of body armor in modern armies, individual protection capabilities have been greatly enhanced. Combined with the widespread use of various optical sighting systems, infantry combat is developing toward longer engagement distances. Greater distances and stronger protective capabilities both present challenges to small caliber rifles and machine guns. As the battlefield situation changes, the U.S. Army believes that when facing protected live targets at medium to long distances, the existing M4 rifle and M249 light machine gun are already showing some signs of falling short. To maintain the highest position in the world's military equipment field, it is necessary to have individual weapons with greater range and firepower. And so, in 2017, the U.S. Army launched the Next Generation Squad Weapon Program. This program includes an assault rifle and a squad machine gun, both using the brand new 6.851 EM high-velocity ammunition, as well as a supporting advanced individual fire control system. After fierce competitive bidding, in early 2022 the U.S. Army announced that SIG Sauer's XM7 assault rifle and XM250 light machine gun had defeated True Velocity's RM277 bullpup rifle and won the contract. SIG Sauer presented a complete package solution including the rifle, light machine gun, 6.8 ME ammunition, and suppressors, and this became the key to their victory. Since I have already covered the XM7 assault rifle before, I won't repeat it here. Friends who are interested can look back at the previous video. On April 19, 2022, the U.S. Army signed a 10-year contract with SIG Sauer, planning to procure over 13,000 XM250 light machine guns. The first batch of machine guns was delivered to the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division and 75th Ranger Regiment in September 2023. The XM250 machine gun is a lightweight squad light machine gun that uses belt-feed ammunition, an air-cooled structure, and a short-stroke piston gas-operated principle. The full length of the weapon is 1,045 memory. The empty weight is 5.9 kg. The barrel length is 444 mem. The caliber is 6.8 mem, firing 6.851 mem high-velocity, high-chamber pressure rounds. The muzzle velocity is 950 meters per second. The effective range is 762 meters. The firing modes are single-fire and fully automatic. The theoretical rate of fire is 800 rounds per minute. It feeds from 50-round or 100-round belt boxes. The receiver of the XM250 light machine gun is made from an as-yet undisclosed metal alloy. Outside observers widely speculate it is 7076 T6 aviation aluminum alloy or some type of magnesium alloy, and it is very likely coated with a hard coating of ceramic or other material on the surface. The exterior presents a champagne-colored metallic sheen. The front of the receiver has an enhanced modular handguard installed, which features a quick detach design to facilitate barrel changes. However, the gun does not have a quick detach handle designed onto the barrel itself. If changing the barrel during combat, gloves must be worn. This design also indicates that this gun's primary combat role is squad infantry support. The brand new 851 ME high chamber pressure, high velocity rounds that SIG Sauer developed to accompany the new weapon can be said to represent a breakthrough development in the medium caliber ammunition field. This round comprehensively surpasses the range, accuracy, and armor-piercing capability of existing 5.56 ME caliber ammunition, and in ballistic performance also surpasses NATO's existing 7.62 mm rounds, giving it significant advantages in long-range shooting accuracy and armor-piercing capability. And the weight of the entire weapon system is also lighter than existing 7.62 mm systems. Of course, while gaining the 6.8 mm ammunition's advantages of greater power and longer range, the chamber pressure and muzzle energy are also much greater than 5.56 mm caliber rounds. To offset the resulting powerful recoil, the designers adopted a short-recoil operating principle during firing. The barrel and bolt move rearward together to absorb a portion of the recoil, while also increasing the rate of fire. Machine guns that use this mechanism typically have very high rates of fire. The famous German MG36, MG42, and MG3 machine guns all use the short recoil barrel principle and are all renowned for their high rates of fire. Of course, SIG Sauer's roots are in Germany and Switzerland. This technique is in their traditional skill set. Additionally, this design means the outer frame of the receiver does not need to directly absorb the recoil, allowing the receiver to be made relatively thin, which is also very helpful for reducing the weight of the overall weapon. The XM250 machine gun's empty weight of 5.9 kg is genuinely very light for a machine gun firing medium caliber rounds. This is just like the lightweight tactical nylon belt I have been an agent for. The whole selling point is lightness, sturdiness, and durability. This belt is a product I have been using for over 10 years, and I fully understand the quality. No need to worry about any disappointment. Some online friends have also said the price is slightly on the high side, but different price points genuinely reflect different quality levels. If you're just buying for the style and don't mind throwing it away when it wears out, then it doesn't really matter either way. But if you have requirements for quality and craftsmanship, especially friends who enjoy sports, then you really need to buy the genuine article. This belt, whether in terms of thickness or the density of the nylon material, is made to a very high standard. The edge positions all have individual edge sealing workmanship, which completely eliminates fraying and loose edges. Most notably, the buckle uses a yick fastener, which is particularly sturdy and durable with impressive tensile strength. Once buckled, the tensile force exceeds 50 kg. I personally tested this myself. My weight happens to be 75 kg, and hanging freely by it poses no problem whatsoever. The belt also has no metal components, eliminating any allergy concerns. It pairs very nicely with jeans and casual trousers on a daily basis. If any friends are interested, you can click the link below the video to place your order. The XM250 light machine gun gives a very bulky visual impression at first glance. This is mainly because the gun has the upper receiver and belt feed system designed on a parallel axis, while the handguard, in order to keep the rail capable of maintaining a flat, straight line with the top rail of the receiver, has had a considerable amount of shared area hollowed out from the entire handguard section. On top of this, the gas operating structure has also been designed into the bottom of the barrel, which causes the entire receiver to look particularly bulky when viewed from the side. If the handguard is removed, it looks considerably slimmer. The bulky receiver also makes the stock look very compact, especially after fitting an M4 style stock, where the proportions look extremely unbalanced. The gun stock is a removable design. The original stock is a multi-position adjustable folding stock that is slightly larger in size and when matched with the receiver looks relatively more proportionally harmonious. The XM250 machine gun primarily uses 50-round and 100-round ammunition boxes for feeding. The ammunition is secured to the bottom of the machine gun through an insertion interface structure. To remove the belt, simply press the button. In order to prevent the optical sight from being affected by ammunition changes, the feed system uses a mid-section side flip opening method. With this design, the upper receiver where the optic is mounted no longer moves, which can improve long-range strike accuracy. However, when mounting a slightly longer optic, the feed cover will also be obstructed in the same way. In this case, ammunition can be loaded directly through the feed port, or the optic can be mounted directly on the mid-section flip cover position, because to eject the rounds, the feed cover still needs to be opened. According to the U.S. Army's plans, the new machine gun will be equipped with the newly developed XM157 fire control system, working together with the XM7 automatic rifle to achieve precise strikes and fire suppression at various distances. Of course, this gun also has a number of shortcomings. For example, the high chamber pressure and high muzzle velocity of the 6.8 mm rounds result in significantly louder muzzle noise during firing compared to small caliber rifles. For this reason, the U.S. Army must uniformly equip all XM7 rifles and XM250 machine guns with sound suppressors to reduce muzzle noise and muzzle flash, which increases the total weapon weight by another 0.6 kg. In addition, 6,008 mm rounds are also considerably heavier than 5.56 mm rounds, meaning that under the same load conditions, the ammunition capacity will inevitably be reduced. Taking the U.S. Army M249 light machine gun's basic combat ammunition load as an example, 600 rounds of 5.56 mm ammunition weighs 9.4 kg, while 400 rounds of 6.8 mm ammunition already reaches 12.3 kg, meaning that under roughly the same load conditions, after switching to the XM250 machine gun, the machine gunner's ammunition carrying capacity will be reduced by 200 rounds. Additionally, since the barrel has no quick change handle, if used to replace the M240 general-purpose machine gun, its sustained fire suppression capability is comparatively weaker. This has also caused the XM250's ability to replace the general-purpose machine gun to be widely questioned. Of course, it cannot be ruled out that the U.S. Army will subsequently strengthen and improve it to be competent for sustained fire suppression requirements. After all, as of now, that experimental X in its designation has not yet been removed. Or alternatively, directly using the XM338 to replace the medium caliber option is not out of the question either. But the real problems are right in front of us. Could it be that the U.S. Army, which has always placed enormous emphasis on firepower supremacy, has not considered this issue? Clearly, the U.S. Army has its own thinking. In the Next Generation Squad Weapon Program, the U.S. Army identified 3 hard requirements for light weapons: longer range, higher precision, and greater lethality. This indicates that the U.S. Army hopes to eliminate and suppress enemies through more precise strikes at greater distances. The U.S. Army believes that on the future battlefield of high technology and high intensity, soldiers will no longer have many opportunities to engage each other at close range. If a one-hit kill cannot be achieved, it will inevitably lead to being struck by the enemy's other asymmetric weapons. To achieve this goal, the U.S. Army's XM250 machine gun has also been issued with the XM157 fire control system. This is a fire control system with excellent aesthetics, high performance, and durability. It has a 1:8 magnification range. For targets within 300 meters, the shooter can aim and fire directly. For targets beyond 300 meters, the shooter simply needs to press the adjustment button. The scope's built-in laser rangefinder, ballistic computer, atmospheric sensor, and other modules can then automatically and rapidly adjust the ballistic solution based on the aiming point, greatly improving the soldier's aiming speed and accuracy. For suddenly appearing targets, precise aiming can also be achieved within an extremely short period of time to initiate an attack, without the need to go through the cumbersome steps of traditional scopes, such as manually adjusting for windage and elevation based on target distance, which would result in missing a combat opportunity or even being eliminated by the enemy instead. In the future, the U.S. Army plans to connect the XM157 fire control system with other battlefield equipment to share battlefield information, thus forming a complete system that will further enhance the combat capability of infantry. In September 2023, the first batch of XM250 machine guns was delivered to the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division and 75th Ranger Regiment for equipment testing. In March 2024, the 1st Battalion of the 506th Infantry Regiment of the 101st Division also began fielding the weapon. According to the long-term plan put forward by the U.S. Army in its FY 2025 budget, before 2030, they plan to procure 13,334 XM250 light machine guns, along with accompanying sighting systems and suppressors, achieving a configuration of 7 XM7 assault rifles and 2 XM250 light machine guns in every combat infantry squad. Although the U.S. Army's next-generation squad weapon program currently still has many shortcomings and deficiencies, we also cannot ignore the fact that it is continuously evolving. And personally, I believe that the U.S. Army's infantry combat concept of greater range, higher precision, and greater lethality is in line with the direction of future ground combat development. Anyone who has watched this far is truly a genuine military enthusiast. Your humble servant dares to ask for your likes and subscribe here. Military-themed video content naturally has a relatively small audience, so I hope all you out there will show your support.
Damn!
What?
Oh, god damn!
I can't